Hey everybody, Brian here. It is Monday, the 12th of February. And if you've been following me recently on Twitter, I've been talking about Bitcoin. We were anticipating a break of this band of resistance in here. I'm looking at the 2 hour time frame down below. And then as it broke higher at that point, that's where I got fully long. And I was looking at this market thinking that it had the potential to go at least to this prior peak. So we're looking at the daily time frame right now. And that is the peak from January 11th. So I was looking at it saying, I think it has the potential to go there. It's not a price target, but it's something that gives me an indication of whether my risk was, my perceived risk was worth what I thought the reward might be. I like to buy prior to a breakout. I like to buy when the momentum begins. That was over here. That's where the momentum began. A lot of people like to buy the breakout. Well, we just ran from 42 and change, 43 and change to 49, and now a breakout 6,000 points higher. To me, that's extended. I want to look at that point and say, now I'm looking to sell a piece of my position. I've enjoyed a very nice rally here, and it's at a level where breakouts often fail because people don't consider, one, where have they come from? Again, it just rallied from 43 to 49.50. And here we are on the weekly time frame. You can see it's a clear breakout beyond not only this peak, but this peak over here. Most likely, it's going to continue to move higher. Now we're at a round number, the round number of 50,000. Round numbers often provide a level of resistance. So I look at this and say, this wasn't my price target. My price target wasn't that high. That's my level of interest. What I mean by that is then I switch to a shorter term time frame. As we hit that 49,000 right here, I did not sell. Instead, I watched it went higher, and then my point is, at that point, I want to put my stop. I don't really set stops, but I'm watching it. And if it breaks below this low, as it breaks to this high right here, I'm not good at drawing on this platform, but as it breaks that high, that high there, my stop goes under here. It rallied up, it pulled back, and then I had set my stop, as I mentioned on Twitter, right under here. So now I look at it and say, we're at a round number of 50,000. Do I want to keep my stop under here down at 49.4? Again, it's a mental stop. Or do I want to say, hey, we've come pretty far pretty quickly. We're at a round number that often acts as resistance. And do I want to raise my stop, my mental stop, up to this point here? I think it's highly likely if I raise it to that point, I will get stopped out. Otherwise, if I stay in, then my stop goes down here and I will likely get stopped out there. So my point is I'm selling some right here, right now. There's a little bit of discretion. We're at the round number. We've broken the prior peak. I'm looking to lock in gains on a third of my position. That's it. And where am I going to look to reposition? Most likely somewhere down near the anchor from the beginning of this move. This move began over here at 43,000. That anchor is down at 46.5. So if we get a nice flush down there, I'd love to buy into that fear. I'm not going to set my bid in there yet, but it's a level of interest that I'm considering. I'm not making the plan. I'm not executing the trade. I'm just looking at it as levels of interest, and I will see how it acts. So what I'll do is I'll set an alert at 47,000, for instance. And then as it gets to 47, then I'll start to watch it carefully. And I repeat this process over and over again on all time frames, on all equities, on ETFs, etc. I don't have price targets. When I get long, my price target is higher. I look for a level of interest that I can justify the amount of the amount of risk I'm taking for a potential risk reward, but it's all garbage in, garbage out. If I got long at 43 and it went down instantly to 41, well, then my price target obviously meant nothing on my level of upside interest. See, I even caught myself calling it a price target. Anyways, the price target for me is always higher. Then I look at the shorter term time frame and say, now that I'm looking simply to lock in some gain to reduce risk so that if we pull back to 46, I don't feel like a dope for riding the whole thing down, and I can replace it there. And otherwise, if it continues to move higher, well, great. I still have a 2/3 position. Hope that was helpful.